All right, so I am going to now go ahead and share my screen. Let me put my stuff on Do Not Disturb. I'm sorry, I just heard all kinds of stuff in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and oh, hi, Miss Kim. Bear with me 1 second, guys. I forgot to do this when we logged in. All right. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. And what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to go straight into ClassLink. This is how we prefer for you to get to Schoology. So I'm just going to start from the very beginning, and I'm going to click on Schoology. And the first step on the skills check is that you can log on to your district or your Schoology account. I'm using the single sign-in browser, which is our preferred way, again, for you to log in. Here you can see my course dashboard. For my purpose, I am going to go here to my section, and then we're going to start here. So the first portion that is on the checklist after we log in is to navigate to your profile. So if you've never logged into Schoology before, these are some things that you're going to want to set up first off and foremost. The first thing you're going to see is here on the left-hand side where your picture would go. You see mine just has this. This is just one of their pictures that they have because I haven't changed it. This is going to be the picture for your course. So you will be able to edit the picture. You can change it here. We do have some district photos that they want you to use, or district images that they would like for you to use for your particular course. And then let me put that in the chat as well, because if you look at for your groups, let me see if mine will come up here on the side. And is it going to be, what do we say, Kim, academic services they should have access to?
Yes, ma'am, once they join it, though.
Okay, so let me put it in the chat first, and then. Bear with me a second. I saved it. Oh no, Mr. Can we get him some help with that, Kim?
Yes, ma'am, I'm looking into it.
Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right.
Mr.
Sorry,
Mr.
go
Walker,
ahead.
can you send me your employee ID separately, privately, sorry?
So this link that I just put here in the chat, let me get back to the other screen so you guys can see. That will bring you to this academic services. And what you're gonna, I'm gonna already have it here. I'm gonna just go here in my resources, and I'll show you this here and again. What we're gonna want you to copy is going to be here in the course tiles and images. So if you're elementary, all the JPEGs that you'll need, all the course images that you'll need, you'll just scroll down to find which one you need. The easiest thing to do is going to be to either, I would move it over here and add it to your course, and then that way you can add it to your resources and you can have it. You can always, of course, just download it and save it, you know, to your hard drive, and then you can have it that way as well. But you're going to do that, and then let me see, let me go back to my courses. I'll just change mine just so you guys can see. Let's not do the Yoda. I think I have, I'm gonna just put this in here. It's not one of the ones that we have, but I will put it in there. And then you see that it's changed over. So whatever you do that to, that's what it'll change to. So what you're going to want to do is take with the JPEG from your course and then edit the picture. All you have to do is hover over, that edit picture will come up, and then you'll be able to change it that way. Does anybody have any questions over that? Pretty simple, right? The next thing you're going to want to do is come over here to your name. Here under your name, you're going to want to go to settings. Here under the settings is where you're going to have all of your set everything for your notifications. As you scroll down, you guys are all adults, so I'm going to go through this portion pretty quickly. You can just change everything that you may need to change. If you have another calendar, if you wanted to access another calendar, you can enable it here. If you have another Schoology account for any reason, you can link it. All right, and then also if you have any other accounts, you can merge the accounts, the other instructor accounts. Save the changes. Here on the notifications is the important part, because just much like in Teams, you may not want to be getting pinged all the time, or you may want to. So here is where you're going to toggle whether or not you want these notifications to come through to you. So you can toggle it on and off, or you can make a custom, and it's going to be, of course, to your email on this one. If you would like it to send notifications to your phone for any reason, you can click here. You'll put in your cell phone number and your carrier, and then it'll send the notifications to your phone if you're so inclined to do that. Your privacy settings, all of these that you see here that are locked are all set. There's nothing you can change there. These other options you can change. So if you don't want the school, or some people seeing your profile, or if you want them to, you can check those items. I'm gonna check everything back over here, just leave mine as it was. But as you can see, it changed everything over. If you don't want anybody to see some of these items, then you can check it here for them not to see it. The recycle bin is also a very important one. The recycle bin, anytime you delete anything from your course, it's going to come here to the recycle bin. So if you accidentally delete something that you're working on, this is where you're going to want to come to so that you can recover those items if you need it. All right, everybody good so far? So up here, what we're going to look at next too is you see that there's courses, and then you see that there's groups. So on the courses, these are actual places that I'm actually learning or setting. The groups are just that, they're groups. These are not they're teams that I belong to, but I don't have any editing rights or anything of that matter. So these are groups. These are normally at your district level. What you can also see, if you see the little star right here, that means that I am an admin for this. So anytime you see a star, it means that either you're the admin or somebody's added you as an admin to their course. So that is the easiest way to see which course you're an admin in if you end up getting a lot of courses for any reason. So I'm going to go back into my course. And then again, I'm going to access my resources. Once you start adding items, this is the first thing here that I would add to your resource. Because as we do the setup for your course, to have this one done already is going to be the easiest, so that way every week you don't have to rebuild these folders, because as you'll see, it gets pretty precarious to add those in every week. You have to toggle it just right. So here's my week of. So I built it out. So in order to build this out, what you're going to do is you can go to Add Materials, or you can click, you can see as I hover down over the line, it turns green, and you can click the plus sign and click Add a Folder. You can title that folder, and like I said, for the district purposes, you want to title it, week of, or however you want to title it. I would just put week of, and then that way you can go back and edit it and add whatever day of the week it is. You can pick your color, and then I'm going to create it. So now you can see that it's the week of. And when I open it up, there's nothing there. So we're going to go back. And then I'm going to add another folder. And then I'll probably name this one like Monday. And so I just want to show you this first one real quick, just because it's really interesting to try to get this down. So in order to get this one to be like this, you're going to have to push this arrow down, and you're going to want to pull this. And this is why I say that once you get it done once, you really want to try to just be done with it, because it gets really hard to put it in here. And I will play with this all day long. But you have to really toggle with it. There it goes. But it's so nerve-wracking, and I would not have to want to do that every week. So once you get this week of folder built with your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I suggest then going here to your settings and then save it to your resources. So that way, every week, all you will have to do is go to your resources, and then it'll be here in your resources, and you can copy it as needed, or add it to your course. The other thing that makes it easy for that, let me go back to my course here, is for like your past, once your week has passed, you can then make another folder that's called, past assignments, and then you can just drop that whole folder inside of the past assignments, and that way the students will still be able to access their information or their schooling if they missed a week or if they missed a day, and you don't have to have them try to go back and figure it out. So to keep from confusing myself, I'm going to delete this because I already have my week of here. All right, is everybody good there? All right, so back onto the resources page again, I wanted to show you something else. So you'll see that on the resources, if you see on the left-hand side, that I am right now in my personal resources. So these are just resources that I have either made or saved. We also have public resources, which has a plethora of resources you can use from everybody that uses Schoology worldwide. So you can search something up if you're searching for some type of math lesson. You can search it to see if they have in there, or some types of folders. You can search it here as well. For our groups, this is where you would be able to easily access the academic services or any other group that you're belonging to. And as you can see here, this resources that they've shared will be right here. So that way you don't have to toggle to groups to go to their icons. You can just go here in resources and then go down to group, academic services, and then those images that we were talking about will be in here. The last one we'll talk about is apps, but we'll get to that here in a little bit.
And they're right there, Tequila, under Schoology training resources.
Okay, yeah, the images, right,
Yes.
right here. Yep, so here they are right here, the course tiles, and then it's elementary, high school, and middle school. And again, all you'll need to do is just save the one that you need for your course, and then you'll be good to go. Thank you, Kim. So, well, actually, let me go back. I should have stayed there for apps. So if you do not yet have your OneDrive connected, you can see mine is already connected. If you don't have it connected, I'm going to show you the easiest way to do that. And I'm actually going to show you with my Nearpod. I wanted to save my Nearpod installing it so that you guys can see how to install it as well. So I'm going to go up here to my App Center. That's just the 4 dots here. I'm going to click on the App Center. You can search whichever one you need. For me, I need Nearpod, but again, if you're needing OneDrive, it'll pop up as well. So I'm going to hit install, and then I agree. And then this is asking me where do I want to install it at, and since this is my course, I'm going to want it to install it there, and then for me, only on for my screen. So if you have anybody else that's an admin, they might show up here, or it might show up for your students. You can select them, or I'm just selecting myself because I'm really the only one in here. So you can see now it's been changed. We go back here to my course. And now you can see Nearpod has been added. So when I click on there, I am going to have to go in and do like a forgot password, because with, as you know, with ClassLink, it's a single sign-on. So it's asking me, yes, I know it's going to permanently link. So once I do this, I'm not going to go through this with you guys right now, but since it's a single sign-on from ClassLink, I am going to have to do forget password and have them email me a password so that I can complete this function here. All right, so you're going to want to do that with, especially for your OneDrive. And then I also have Sora down here as well. But you can look to see what other apps you might want to add. Again, you can just go up here to the App Store and then find it that way. All right, accessing and copying, let's see, content. So again, back at the resources, let's go back to the group. So we'll go ahead and show you with the images. Excuse me. So let's say you're doing technology. So some of us would probably do that and, you know, download the image that way. You can do that and download the image, but the easier way to do it actually is just to copy it to, and then wherever you want to copy it to. If you want to put it in a folder or, you know, course image tiles, that's not here, that's already here, so I don't want to do that. So wherever you want to copy it to, you can just copy it there. All right, so whichever way you prefer, it's up to you. If you're more comfortable downloading it and putting it on your hard drive in order to upload it, then you can do that. But I would suggest just getting into the habit of just adding it to the course or copying it, because if you go to other public resources, there's probably going to be stuff that you're not going to want to waste the time to put on your hard drive. You're just going to want to go ahead and move it over into your course. Right, change in the course picture. I'm just kind of going through this. We did that already. So let me go back to my course, and now we'll kind of get into the meat of it all. We only have about 10 minutes left, but I wanted to show you guys some little nuggets for setting up your course. So I already showed you how to do the week of, and like I said, it takes some work to kind of squeeze those into that one big folder. So once you do it, again, please go ahead and save it to your resources once you've done it once, and then you can always go in and edit it as you need to, right? So, but what I want to show you guys is this one here. The first one you'll see is for a virtual meeting. So although you do see Teams in here, we still want you guys to use the other Teams. We have been finding that trying to use this tab for the Teams meeting, it doesn't like the recurring meetings, which most of us do. So we're still going to need you to use this format, and all you're going to do is go here again to either add materials or down to the line where there's a plus sign, and we're going to add a page. And then you're going to title it, you know, your virtual meeting or whatever you want to put it right there. My eye is high. And then you can just put, you know, Teams meeting at 10:30. And then before you do anything else here, the best practice would be to go to the meeting that you already probably have scheduled. And then you're going to want to get the meeting options. Let me see if I'm already in one, so I don't know if it's going to let me find the meeting options.
And Ms. Tequila, while you're looking for a meeting that you have created, I did want to emphasize that what Ms. Gallagher is about to go over, the Teams meeting invite, as well as the setup of how you have your courses, is mandatory. And I apologize if you already mentioned that. I just want to mention from the academics level, that is mandatory. We want to ensure that from course to course and student to student and campus to campus, every course outline looks the same. And so Ms. Gallagher will show you again the way that she's showing you right now to create your Teams session would be mandatory. It has to look like this. Okay, so thank you for sharing that, Ms. Gallagher.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so once you normally when you go into your recurring meeting, and after you close it out, you can go back to the screen and you'll see this. At the bottom of it, you'll see the meeting team options and click here to join meeting. What you're going to do is right click, and then you're going to want to copy that link, right? So when you copy that link, and then let me get back into my Schoology. So when I copy that link, you see I started writing Teams meeting at 10:30. You're going to want to go here to insert content. When I go to insert content, I then want to put a link. And then this is where you're going to paste that link for that meeting. I'm going to change the title right here. And I'm just going to put the words here or whatever word you want to put because that's what's going to be the hyperlink. So then that's what's going to happen. So then when this is here, well, let me finish this out. So you'll see that this is actually the hyperlink. And then what we're going to want to do is display in line. So when you scroll down to this is one that will kind of get you confused. If you don't click that, you'll see it says display on a new page. That means it's going to go to a whole new page. To simplify it for the students, we want to display in line. So that way it's all going to be on the first screen that you see. So then I'm going to go ahead and click create. And then you can see it just went here, you know, your virtual Teams meeting. So then when the students click here, it's going to take them out into their Teams, which is not an issue because this is where their meeting is going to be. It's going to take them directly to that meeting. After the meeting, if the students need to get back in Schoology, if they're on laptops, all they need to do is click back on the Schoology tab. If they're on iPads, then they just need to double click so that all the apps come back up and then click back on Schoology and they'll be right back in Schoology. All right, does anybody have any questions on how to get this to look like this? Everybody's good? Okay. So the next thing I want to go over is updates and announcements. This is going to be very much how we just did the virtual meeting. This is a good way to just, if you want to say something really quick to the students, or if you want like any updates or announcements, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to either hover over the line, which is the easiest to do instead of always scrolling up and down. Schoology makes it really easy. And then you're going to add a page. And then you're just going to, you know, say, and then you can type whatever it is. Again, as I had stated earlier, the important part with this is when you're coming down to the options, you want to choose display in line. So that way it doesn't take the students out to another page for them to have to click another button. So we're trying to make it as simple as possible. So we made that display in line and we're going to click create. And then it's just right there. So let me see where. Yep. So please read. So then you can type whatever, like here's where I said you could type whatever, so that way they don't have to open it. If you did not do inline, then they would have to click here and then they would have to read whatever it is. By keeping it right there in line, it keeps them from having to tab out and, you know, giving them another excuse for saying something would not open. One other thing, oh, let's see if we do a couple of this. So there is, of course, an evaluation or an assessments tab. In order to do that, we love this feature as ITs for this because it does the assessments. You'll name the assessment whatever it is. You'll give it the category. If you need to disable the submissions for the due dates or whatever you need to do. And then you'll create it. I'm not going to go through creating another one. I'm going to open this one up just because I want you to see, once you start creating it, it's going to ask you these questions. You know, do they have a time limit on the toolbars? So you'll do all of this if you want them to have many attempts. You'll fill out all that information for your assessment, and then you'll save it. And then it starts giving you, here's for the questions. It gives you the option to make multiple choice, true, false, matching all these options for you to make an assessment inside of Schoology. Of course, and then it gives you the grading. There's no questions for me to grade yet. And then the reporting. Once you're done all that, of course, this is one, once you do it, you would want to save it to your resources, of course, so that if you want to use it again, you won't have to reinvent the wheel, so to speak. I just wanted to show you that one real quick. I don't have any assessments set up, but I just wanted to show you that that option is definitely available. Another best practice that we do have as far as things being in line, you can see here that I have a PDF. I'm going to click on this one first just because I want to show you that this one is in line. But not only is this one in line, I had made this one for the school because they were doing a meeting. And when you have a lot of meetings going on, this one actually has a live link inside of it so that it does still take it will take them out to that link. So again, that's something handy to have on hand to keep the students from having to go so many of the other places. So if you're wanting them to do something, or if you need for their parents to see something, you know, if you have that, then I do like that feature as well. But that's the great thing about having it in line. In order to get it in line, let's see. Let me go here. You're going to go just like this. And you can either, if you're going to add it as an assignment, you can name the assignment. And then let me see here. I'm going to insert. I'll insert a link. Well, actually, no, let's do that. We already did the link before. Let me insert an image. And then this is where you can attach the file. And I'm just going to attach that. And then you can see again that it's already in here. You have to pick a category. I'm going to pick ungraded because this is just something I want them to look at. It's not anything that I'm going to be grading. And then I'm going to click create. And then that way when they open it up, it's right there. So again, it doesn't take them to another screen. They are still within Schoology. And that just makes things a lot easier for them. You can do the same thing with videos. I have been having trouble with videos, so let me show you guys this real quick too, because although it's supposed to work the same way with the video, a lot of times I will get this, especially with YouTube. I tried it earlier even with Storyline Online, and it still, it worked, but it kicked them out. It kicked them out to another tab, which again is not an issue. It's not best practice, but just understand that that does happen sometimes. So again, once they watch what they need to watch, they just need to click back into Schoology and do what they need to do. But again, best practice is, again, let me just click here. If you want to do it as a file or whatever you want to do, the link, you can put it, let's see, what do I even have in here? Let's not do that. That was a long one. But again, you're going to want to put the link here, title it, and then you're going to want to display in Schoology. So you see where it says that, and then you'll click it for it to come up. The same thing will be with the file. If you just, again, if that's just a PDF that you just want them to look at, you may not necessarily want it to be an assignment. You can do it as an assignment again, but ungraded. But if it's just some material that you want added, that's what you can use that add file for. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Oh, your OneDrive. Let me show you this one thing and then I'll let you guys go. So a lot of stuff you will see, you'll see that here's my OneNote, but the option, let me add an assignment here. You guys may have seen it when I had tried to do it before. You'll see here that my OneDrive assignments. The key with this is that anything that I put in here, the students will get. But if you have a co-teacher, you have to give them access to this as well from your Schoology, or they won't be able to access it. So this was telling me that this will create a copy for the file for each student. So then the students would be able to open it up and then create their, write on whatever they need to write on as it for being in OneDrive and then send it back. So you connecting your OneDrive is definitely something that you're going to want to do. And especially for you middle school ones, if you're wanting to add the notebook. I haven't signed in because I don't use mine, but there is for you to be able to add the notebook as well.
And that would be for a new notebook, though. It does not
Yes,
bring in an existing notebook.
Right. All right, so that's really the quick down and dirty. I know that was very, very quick. Again, I did put the PDF for the skills and knowledge checklist in the chat. So please make sure that you have downloaded it and saved it. It is also in Eduphoria for where you signed up at. So please go ahead and play with it. If you guys have any issues or you would like for us to kind of walk you through one-on-one setting up your course, please reach out to myself or whoever your campus ITT is. Most of them are in this call right now. So you can reach out to us and we will be more than happy to help you out. If we need to do a small campus one, if this time didn't work for some other members of your staff, then we can do a small campus one as well to try to get you guys all set up. So that way, once we get going, nobody's left behind, because this is the most mundane part, is getting this part lined up. So once we get this done, I think you guys will be good to go. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go ahead.
Sorry, Ms. Gallagher, before you stop sharing, thank you so much for sharing this lesson with everyone. As we wrap up, I just want to share there in the chat, we added the website. Do you mind going to that while you share your screen?
Oh, yep, I sure can. Let me see real quick.
And so I do want to emphasize that right now for the spring, it's a soft launch. So it's optional whether teachers want to use it with their students right now in the spring. If you are interested in using it with your students, there is a whole process that you do have to go through. It's not just something you start doing. And so step one is that you fill out the survey letting us know that you want to get started already. However, in the fall, it's mandatory. And so we will be switching to Schoology in the fall for all asynchronous lessons. However, again, right now it's optional during the soft launch. So you would complete step one to let us know you're interested in getting started. However, step two is something you can start doing now, even if you're not going to opt in for the spring. And so step two is the self-guided course. That is a 3-hour step-by-step, very detailed, right, Ms. Gallagher?
Yes, but very good, in a good way, detailed in a good way.
Very detailed, will take you through every single thing you need to learn about Schoology. It's hands-on, you develop a sandbox, and so it guides you through everything. And then once you complete that learning, you submit your certificate to Badgelist so that we can know you did that, you're good, you've gotten your training, and you have that foundation. If you are going to start using it with your students, then we ask you to watch the recording from a session that we did back in December with those teachers who were going to start using it. And then Ms. Tequila, if you could scroll down a little bit more. And then there are some mandatory tutorials that we ask you to watch. which emphasize again how you have to change your setup to ensure that you have your lessons as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we're asking again every teacher to follow that setup regardless of what campus, what course you teach. It's going to be the same throughout the district. And so those are valuable resources right there that we want to make sure that you have. And if we add more, they will be there to that recording. And so I love, Ms. Gallagher, that you added the ITTs are here for them every step of the way. We want to make sure that everybody is comfortable as we transition over to Schoology. And we'll start working with the departments as the departments are still learning and also transitioning for the full implementation.
Yes, ma'am.
Do y'all have any questions for us? And thank you, Ms. Belinda and Oscar, for also joining and supporting. Any questions, teachers, for us? At this time, you can raise your hand or unmute if you have a question.
Nothing. Bear with me a moment. That still not able to see the attendees, so I'm gonna have to do the same
I
thing.
see you, Ms. Castillo. What is your question?
It's not a question. It's just a thank you for this training. I do hope our campus does maybe a little training. If not, I definitely want. I'm hoping that on these Fridays that we'll be able to do something like this to get it started.
Yeah, absolutely. Remind me what campus you're at, ma'am?
Henry B.
Okay. That's you, right, Miss Belinda? Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, hi, there she is. Hi, Denise. Sorry.
I can come visit.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, I think I saw Miss Tina, I believe. Miss Rios, your hand was up.
Yes, ma'am. I have a question. So I already set up my classes. I started using it with my kids, my Pathways kids, but I see where I don't know who uploaded another tab. So I like have 3 tabs for one class.
3 tabs.
How do I delete those other 2 tabs?
The 3 courses?
Yeah, it's for the 3 courses for one class. I need to delete those classes just to have that one course on there.
So every Friday, and this was something that we mentioned in the bigger training, is that everything comes in from the SIS. So the way that the master's schedule is built is the way the classes come in. Next year, when we have full implementation, it will automatically happen daily. But for now, it happens every Friday. So the reason that's happening, Ms. Rios, is that's how PEAMS is putting in the classes or whatever. And so even if you delete them every Friday, it's going to come back in and happen. So we recommend that you use the courses that the district built rather than creating your own.
Well, you see, because when we first did our meeting in December, it says we were asked to create our own to see if we can actually do it, and I created my own. Yes. But it matches exactly the way the district sent it. It's that it's going to update this Friday because some kids were dropped.
Yeah, and so what
can I just stay with the one that I have? Because I put a little picture on there to tell me which one is the one that I'm using.
And another best practice that we recommend is build your lessons in resources, which is kind of like your—
Yes, that's what I just saw right now. Yes.
And then send it to the courses, because click of a button, you can just send it from resources to the courses.
Yes, I just saw that right now. Yeah, and I was like, okay, that I didn't do that, so that's what I have to do.
Yay!
Yes, but my kids say they like it better because now it's easier. They just click on it, it downloads by itself. And yes. Teams, you have to download it, upload it, do whatever, and then they had a hard time, and now it's easier just to upload.
Awesome. We're going to record you sharing that testimonial. All righty. Thank you, Ms. Rios. Let us know if you need anything else.
Okay.
Mr. Escobedo?
Yes, ma'am. I was just wondering, there going to be any kind of a training, or could we possibly get one for like the life skills teachers for special ed? Because I know a lot of this seems to be geared towards the general ed curriculum, but like our programs are all built into ClassLink separately. So our lessons aren't really actually paper lessons that they actually do.
Yes, and I am actually working with, who's the teacher at Roosevelt? Miss Young, maybe?
No more.
Miss Moore, Jennifer Moore. She's in that same situation, right? And she actually is doing the soft launch. So we're actually learning from her how the programs are operating. And I do think that because one of the benefits of Schoology is that everything embeds within Schoology. And right now that program that y'all use, the InLearning, or what is it called?
Unique.
Unique. It's not embedding. So
Yeah, it doesn't
we're
embed.
having to
It
show
doesn't
the
incorporate
kids
embedding.
how to, how to navigate the device to move between Schoology and Unique. And so that's something we may need to actually reach out to Unique to find out, can they be an app in Schoology, because they're not currently an app in Schoology. Okay.
All right, that's perfect. Thank you so
Were you
much.
looking to get started now or in the fall?
I do know. I'm a little nervous. I only have one student that's online. All my rest of my students are in person.
Okay.
So
And they
I don't
submit
know.
work and everything's done in person?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep learning. You're welcome to start using it. Like we said, it's better if you kind of build everything under your resources, and then from there you can always send it out to your courses. But yeah, feel free to start playing around with it. If you want to get started on that self-guided course, you're welcome to do that as well.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you so much, ma'am.
But once y'all are ready for training, by all means, yes. But we're kind of using Miss Jennifer she took one for the team.
Yeah, she did then.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Miss,
Anybody else?
I think Miss Rios has her hand up again, unless it never went down.
I don't think she ever put it down.
It never went down, sorry.
Okay, no problem. Miss Ritchie, I think you're still in. Did you have a question?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Awesome. Before we wrap up the session, Miss Gallagher, can you see if attendance is available to you?
It isn't. I already looked.
What changed?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I have no idea. I'm not impressed either. I was been looking the whole time because I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. But I screenshotted the participants, so I'll make sure they all get the credit. So.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, thank you, everyone.
Yes, if anybody has any other issues, please reach out to us again, okay?
And thank you for facilitating, Miss Gallagher.
Yes, ma'am. Everybody have a good one.
Thank you.
Stop recording.